Okay. So let's move to our next topic, that is types of methods. Okay. Okay. So there are actually three types of methods. Etta types of variables in two types of variables: class variable, which is also called as static variable, and an instance variable. But here there are actually three types of methods. First one is an instance method. Second one is a class method, and third one is static method. Okay, so there are actually three methods. Okay, so how many type of variables? Two variables, two type of variables. First one is static variable or class variable. Second one is instance variable. Whereas in the case of methods, there is three: instance, class, and static. Okay, I will explain what with an example. Let's start with instance method. Okay, which is obviously related to an instance variable. Okay, so let's create a class student. Okay, and let's define an init function. Self. Okay, തൽക്കാലം ഇത്ര ഡിഫൈൻ ചെയ്യാം, ബാക്കി നമുക്ക് വഴിയെ ഡിഫൈൻ ചെയ്യാം. ഓക്കെ, init self. And what is my point? What is my aim? My aim is to find the average of some marks. Okay, so let's define as self dot m1 equal to m1, self dot m2 equal to m sorry m2. Okay, let's copy this. Self. Okay, 3 marks is enough. Okay, self dot m3 equal to m4. Maybe if you want, you can add some one more. Self dot m4 equal to m4. Okay, 4 marks നമുക്ക് return ചെയ്തു. Okay, I mean define ചെയ്തു. Now we create a object. So s1 equal to, what is the student, right? S2 equal to student. Okay, now shall we pass the value here? Okay, can I pass the value? Okay, let's pass the value 70, 30, 40, 45. Okay, here also maybe 100, 95, 99, maybe an 80. Okay, I'm passing some values. Okay, which means once this ഇത് നമ്മൾ ഓൾറെഡി ലാസ്റ്റ് ക്ലാസ് പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഇങ്ങനെ പറയുന്നത്. So this, we are passing this value, we are passing this object also. So self will take the object. M1 must be there, M2, M3, comma M4, right? M4. Okay, now is it enough? No, we have to define an average, right? So a function called as average self, and you return the average. Okay, so you return self dot m1 plus self dot m2 self dot m2 plus self dot m3 plus self dot m4 shit second m4 divided by 4. Okay, so this is how you will get the average. Okay, now you need to call, right, s1 dot average you need to call. Okay, let's print the average. Let's print the average. Okay, so this is the output to it. Look here, this method, this average, okay, this function or this method is called as an instance method. In the method ആണ് instance method. Why? Because we are using instance variable like m1, m2, m3 and m4. So, and also we are using an object called as self. Okay, so whichever function that uses self and also this instance objects can be called as an instance method. Okay, if I want to print the value of s2, it will be 93.5. Okay, again if I change the value to maybe 90, you will get 96. Okay, so everything is actually dealing in what? Instance. Okay, so it is all related to an instance variable. So this is called as instance variable and sorry, instance method. Okay, some method that any method that actually uses the instance variable is called as an instance method, right? മനസ്സിലായെന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുന്നു. If not, you just go back and rewind this. Okay, this is very important concept. Now we will check the okay, before that instance. Okay, there are two types of instance method. Okay, there are two types of instance method. First one is actually called as accessor and second one is called as mutator. Okay, right, so I will mention this. So there are actually two types of instance method. First one is called as accessor. Accessor method which says that the method can only access the value. Okay, or method or instance method which can only access the value is called as an accessor method. And a mutator method. Okay, mutator method means if a method can able to modify some values, it is called as a mutator method. Okay, if a method is ready to modify the value, it is called as a mutator method. If the method is just there to access the value, it is called as the accessor method. We will take that in the next class, right? Thank you.